Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tailosive Tech live on YouTube. I know many of you prefer edited unboxings, but it's actually something I've discovered the audience is fairly torn on. I've run several polls. It seems like most of the channel members prefer live unboxings, whereas the rest of the channel prefers edited. But this is something that I thought might be best experienced live anyway, because I always feel like a live stream offers a more real-time interaction between the audience and the creator, and the headphone listening experience, I do have them here. We'll get started. I'm just letting the notifications go out, let everyone know we're going live, but I do have the secondary camera set up here ready to go, so we'll be able to enjoy this unboxing experience together. I've been testing out AirPods 2 and AirPods Pro this morning, kind of going back and forth so that I can remind my brain how they sound and the differences I can detect between the two different pairs, and also so that we can compare the charge cases and whatnot. But anyway, this experience is rather personal when it comes to audio playback, and it's obviously something I'm not going to be able to share with all of you. More so the MacBook unboxing, you get my impressions of the weight and how it feels. So I was like, okay, a lot of people want a live unboxing, a lot of people want edited. Oh, thank you, Roy, for the super chat. You didn't even say anything, but thank you. So I decided, I got two products in the mail yesterday. I'll do an edited unboxing for one and a live unboxing for the other. And edited unboxing for the product that I think is more exciting. Although AirPods 3, the more I'm thinking about it, the more there's actually quite a few changes I'm excited to try out. So it's basically like this perfect, design-wise, it's like this perfect mesh between AirPods 2 with that like traditional pod look that we've had ever since the iPhone 5, and with AirPods Pro, that more downward-facing pod position where the stems stick out this way a tad more. It's kind of combining these two into a singular product, and I like the look. I'll be honest, like the design of AirPods 3 look pretty good just from the outside. I'm curious to see how they compare in person. You know, the one thing as I was testing this morning, AirPods Pro and AirPods 2 sound quality, just to remind myself how they sound, is I didn't clean my ears. So I apologize if you see earwax on these things. I can't help it. That probably would have been a good thing to do beforehand. But I'm ready. I'm excited. I see everybody tuning in. Ben Rayner says, I would love to get AirPods Max. Always been more of an over-ear phone person, but that price, well, yeah. I've never been an over-ear headphone person, to be honest. Even like fairly comfortable headphones that I really, really like will still start to feel sore on the top of my head after an extended period of time. Whereas the original AirPods, I could wear those things like 24 hours in a row and not have a single issue. Joshua is here. Loner Boy Beats is here. Daniel Holloway says, I meant I couldn't live without ANC. I heard they have better bass, but I couldn't live without noise cancellation. Gotcha. We got Randy in the chat, the true audiophile. I know he did his live stream unboxing them as well. It does look like a miniature hairdryer, exactly. Hey, Levon Mitchell, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. That's really nice of you. Jeez, wow. We're already at, what did I do? What did I do to deserve this job? Oh my God. Thanks, guys. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I think I'm ready to get started here. I'm ready to unbox these. So we're switching to the cam link now. We have, thankfully, the paper pull tabs on these bad boys, which means you don't need a knife. You just peel it like that, and we're good to go. Would like to see the comparisons between AirPods 3 and AirPods Pro without the rubber tips. Yeah, I've got everything here. You know, I've got the Pros. I've got the 2s. I was just listening to both of these for about 10 minutes before the live stream started, so I'm kind of refreshed on how they're supposed to sound. Another super chat from Roy says, looking forward to this. Big fan of your channel. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that. All right. I'm going to move these over here. Lifting the lid off. Ooh, okay. We're starting with designed by Apple, of course. Just a little farther south. Ooh, okay. Interesting. There's the little pouch. It's a weird mesh of the two products, honestly. It's cute looking. It's like not as big as AirPods Pro, but I think it's still technically a bigger case than Let me compare the case size here. Thank you, Levon. I appreciate that support. It looks weird. Which is bigger? Man, these are really close, actually. I don't know if I can get a good side-by-side, but look at that. They're basically, man, almost identical in size, but it opens in landscape instead of portrait. Is that the terminology? What words should I use to describe this? It opens like AirPods Pro, I guess. But it's the same size as like AirPods 2. Is it like slightly taller? Hard to tell. Huh. Yeah, I think it's like a tad bit wider, but pretty dang close. Pretty much the exact same case size. Although now it has MagSafe, which I'm excited to test out. Oh, I guess I can test it already. I got MagSafe right here. Woo! Oh, it did attach. Look at that. I've never had AirPods. It's not a very firm attachment, I might add, but it does technically stick. Like I'm sure you could, yeah, you can hold it off the puck. That's funny. Oh man. Yeah, it's definitely not as secure as an attachment as it is to the phone or the little Apple Watch charge puck, but it's certainly more magnetically inclined than these, which there's like no magnetic attachment. Yeah. Nothing happens on AirPods 2. There's no magnetic pull. I kind of thought that little magnetic lid would start to interfere with it a little bit, but no, not at all. Whereas this is like instant. Oh, well, I disconnected. You got to be a little more gentle with it because it's not exactly the same circular shape. You know, they have an actual metal ring inside the iPhone, whereas on this, I don't think they could stuff that whole ring on the inside of this. I'm glad that they are switching the AirPods Pro charge case to MagSafe support as well, because this one is quite a bit wider. Jeez, I'm just now realizing, like, AirPods Pro look very wide now, just after barely taking AirPods 3 out of the box. These feel like chonk charge case. Curious to see if it's a full circle magnet or just on the sides. Yeah, I definitely don't think it's a full circle. I don't think that's possible. Like, the design is too small to fit a whole circle, but it's enough. It's probably just on the sides. You know it's charging. Exactly. How does the AirPods 3 case compare to AirPods Pro? We've got them both here. AirPods Pro versus 3. I guess I should take the plastic off. It's time. It is an unboxing. Rip it off like that. Am I doing this right? What am I pulling on? Jeez. Okay, this is like a weird it's like a diaper-looking piece of plastic. Look at that. That's cute. Wow. All right, so there we have it. AirPods 3 in the flesh. And I'm going to open them up next to my phone. Wish I had a easy way to prop this thing up, maybe. I was listening to, this is my test song because it's fairly bassy, but it's got a decent amount of mids to it as well. So that means, let me avoid this glare if at all possible. There we go. Okay. AirPods Pro is a pretty thick case, although I will still say this case is better than the stupid smart bra that comes with AirPods Max. that thing is atrocious, and it doesn't protect them at all. Whoa, holy crap. Eunuch just donated $20. I got my first internship today. I want to pay it forward to you, the YouTuber I watch and follow the most. You played a big part on my love/knowledge and tech and Apple for 2 years. I use those a lot during my interviews. Really? Congratulations, Eunuch. Thanks for your generosity. I hope the internship goes well. Jeez, congratulations. That's very generous of you. Happy that's working out. I can successfully say my stupid videos have gotten people a job. All right. Okay, I'm going to open it. Ooh, whoa. Look at that. There's the pop-up. Wow. That's cool. We're going to hit connect. They look really nice. Oh, my God. Okay, we get it. Media control. I don't care about Siri. No, thank you. They come with 74% out of the box. Might have been higher, but I received this package yesterday, and I was so busy with the new MacBook, setting that up and editing the unboxing, that I didn't have time to unbox these yesterday. But okay, so they're connected. Wow, I love how the black section kind of contrasts with the rest. Oh, this is interesting. Whoa. Like, they look so simple. I kind of dig this minimal design approach. Man, like, there's always like a little bit of a seam wherever they attach like the external puck to the rest of the pod. And on these, they're very, very thin. They're fairly hard to notice. Let me see if I can. I'm not sure how close up I can get these cameras, but there they are. AirPods 3 in the flesh. They got the Force stem just like the Pros. It's amazing these things are under $200. That's great. I was really expecting them to start at $199. Brian says his also came at 74%. Gotcha. There they are. I love that they combined the dot with the extra tweeter, whatever that's called. I don't know what it is, but the white and the black contrasts really, really nicely. I love the way they look. And I'm glad they kept the stem, because the stem is useful. The stem makes it easier to pull them out of your ears, and the Force stem is far more practical than the tapping. And I've heard ear detection has been improved as well. So, also these are water resistant. Man, I forget. I think I heard that this new AirPods charge case is also the first water resistant AirPods case. I see earwax on the AirPods Pro. Oh my God. Spoiler alert. I put the AirPods in my ears. Oh no. And yes, my ears have earwax. I also go to the restroom. Are there other crazy details you want to highlight? Okay. I think I'm ready to put these on. I dig the look so far. But yeah, they do feel very much closer to AirPods Pro. It feels like a tinkered version of AirPods Pro more so than it does a tinkered version of AirPods 2. Okay, they're going in. Comfort test, ladies and gentlemen. First time. Okay, they are called tweeters. Thank you, Randy. Whoa. Oh, they made the connecting sound already. Okay. These feel fairly comfortable. Very snug. I think the pods themselves are a tad bigger than AirPods 2, but they feel nice. Definitely not going to fall out. I can tell already just by putting them in the first time. These things are they are stuck. Those AirPods are stuck in there. They are not coming out. Like, yeah, no. There's like, I don't feel even a tad bit of looseness. I'm gonna try to shake them out just because they feel very, very strong. Let me make sure they don't connect to the iMac. This morning I was actually like annoyed because I was trying to find a setting where I was like, how can I make it so that, because I'm using my iMac to stream right now. We're gonna stream on the MacBook later. Just wait for that. I'm gonna do that as its own separate stream. But I didn't want the AirPods to connect to the iMac, so I was like, how do I turn off automatic switching? And I just went into Bluetooth settings on the iMac and hit disconnect and, forget this device. And then it forgot it from all my iCloud devices. And I was like, Apple, stop it. No, I'm not planning on replacing AirPods Pro with AirPods 3 because I do use active noise cancellation. But I'm curious to see how these feel. Okay, let me try to shake them out. I'm gonna give it a shot. All right, we got AirPods 3 in. Shake test. Oh my God, they're not even moving at all. Ugh. I'm getting lightheaded. Jeez. Okay. Side to side. Oh my God. Wouldn't it be hilarious if I fainted on stream? I'm going to try to do that. If I can pass out, I will have done my job. Oh, I think I got some looseness. Oh, I got it. Oh my God. It took a long time. Oh, but I finally got one of them out, the left one. The right one didn't budge, but I tried. Oh, that was difficult, but man, they are very, very snug, but my ears can breathe. That doesn't make sense, but hopefully you know what I mean by, like, it doesn't feel like a seal, the natural default transparency mode that these things have, because I can hear myself talking fine. I don't feel like I can hear my my jaw moving around like I do with AirPods Pro put in. So these feel fairly comfortable, which is good. Ear gate. If you try to knock yourself out, they might fall out, and especially if you're doing this a lot. It took a lot of shaking, but all right, I'm going to restart this song now. Just keep in mind, before we went live, I listened to AirPods 2 and Pro, so I'm kind of accustomed to how those sound. I've also listened to them for the past 2 years, so I've got those headphones audio profiles down in my head pretty good. Yeah, I clicked options in the AirPods and Bluetooth settings, and there's no automatic switching thing. There wasn't a way to turn it off on just the Mac, because I want it to automatically connect to my iPhone, but not the spatialized stereo. Oh, there's settings in the phone that's like, do you want it fixed or head tracked for Spotify? That's interesting. Am I connected to it? Oh, yeah. I guess I'm connected. It's confusing because in settings on Bluetooth, it says AirPods 2, which are my AirPods 2. Whoa! August Amberson, thanks for your continued support. Member for 3 months now. Thank you. But AirPods Pro are their own thing. So these are labeled as just Drew's AirPods and nothing else, which is kind of weird. I was like, oh, are those the 3? But yeah, when I connect them, there's like automatic ear detection, and then I want connected to this iPhone automatically, but there's no like turn off automatic switching to the Mac, which is weird. You don't need to send me a picture. I'm looking right at it. I like when AirPods don't have an ear tip. They literally feel like air, hence the name. Yeah, they blend into my ears very naturally. Do it while playing Shake It Off by Taylor Swift. I'd love to, but it's just going to be awkward for the rest of you because you're not going to be able to hear anything. Head tracking is distracting when listening to music. Yeah, I've never found much usefulness in the head tracking, so I'm just going to leave spatialized stereo off for now, and I'm just going to start listening to this song. All right? So apologize for the lack of commentary. I'm just going to soak in the music for a few seconds and just appreciate the redesigned audio profile. Here we go. Ooh. Whoa. I feel the improved bass. Wow. Okay, I'm turning it up a bit. Okay. That's interesting. Slightly take one out of ear, the adaptive EQ will adjust? Oh, weird. It's adjusting a tad. Let me turn it up all the way. They got decent volume. Is there bleed through? I like them. Man, they sound nice. You know, okay, I'm pausing them for a sec. Like, part of this might be because my AirPods Pro 2 are my AirPods 2 are old and they have earwax in them, and the batteries, I'm sure, are degraded a tad, so I'm not sure if that impacts on the audio performance at all. Ben, thank you for the super chat. I would like an AirPods app, kind of like a control center to control your AirPods. Me too. Don't get me wrong. I don't disagree at all, but it might be just the fact that these are a brand new pair of AirPods that they sound so much better than AirPods 2, but you can hear the music. Yeah, that'd be impressive if they could copyright strike me for that. August says, AirPods 2 doesn't fit my left ear very well. I hope these fit my ears better so I don't have to get the Pros. Have to find a way to try that somehow. Usually they let you try it at most Apple stores. What song were you listening to? This is Delirious Boneless. Because I don't like bones in my music. If you go to the Mac Bluetooth settings, you can change the automatic switching. I went there. It's not an option, I'm telling you. Bluetooth preferences. I'm looking right at it. I go Bluetooth devices, open Bluetooth. Yeah, it's not there. There's not an automatic switching option. There's just a connect or remove option. Thankfully, it's not auto connecting to the Mac because I don't want it to. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm keeping these. It's not the current plan just because I'm pretty confident I need active noise cancellation. But, well, I don't need it. I just really want it when I'm mowing the lawn or when I go on flights, and we are going to be traveling more in the near future. So I definitely want active noise cancellation. But I think I need to do a direct side-by-side comparison with AirPods 2, to be honest. Let me listen to a tad more here. Just going to keep it playing. Dun, dun, dun. Oh my God, Katrina, you're like, turn Bluetooth off. Then I can't use my mouse. You need Bluetooth for the Mac to connect. Anyway, they sound very, very nice so far. First impressions are extremely positive. They're comfortable. They fit in my ears incredibly well. They don't fall out easily. If you really, really want them to fall out, you might, but I guess it's going to all depend on our different ear shapes. But for me specifically, I would have to basically pass out in order to get the ears in order to get the pods to fall out of my ears. But okay, let me switch back really quick. Okay, now this is this is the next part of the experiment. Can Drew remember which AirPods go where? We've got such a mess on my desk right now. You can't even see, well, you can kind of see in the background here how much crap I've unboxed lately. All right, so this is the AirPods 3 case. Oh, that's interesting. They're very slightly tinkered from, these are so dirty, I apologize. AirPods Pro, AirPods 3. They stick out a bit more. Let me pull these out. Oh, yeah, like they don't sit inside the case as much, which is kind of interesting. I guess it's not really that big a problem. Makes me well, it does make me wonder if, like, are they more likely to fall out this way? Oh, well, I guess if you do that, the lid will close. So maybe if I open it, hold the lid like this. Oh, okay, never mind. They're pretty strong. I was like, is that a problem if they're sticking out a bit more than the other AirPods do? But okay. Let me grab the 2s, get these connected. These I bought in March of 2019. Stupidly got them engraved. I don't know why I did that. See, I just put them in and they connected to the Mac. It's just so annoying. Okay. I don't want you connected to... Oh my God. Look at all these... Wait. Come back. Where was it? Look at all these AirPods options. Now playing. Seriously, there is no, like, turn off automatic switching on the Mac option. I don't know where it went, but it's gone. And I can't turn off Bluetooth, otherwise I can't control my computer. I won't have this problem on the MacBook. You have to actually connect them to the Mac in order to turn off automatic switching. I don't see an option to Bluetooth preferences. Options. There they are. Okay. Actually connect to this Mac automatically when last connected. Okay, well, now they're already connected. Okay. Hopefully that fixes it. I'm tapping AirPods 2. Yeah, I feel like Apple could get smarter with the iCloud stuff. Like, I'm using my iMac to stream, but it's viewing that as, oh, Drew's using his Mac. He obviously wants his AirPods to connect to his Mac. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to listen to music on my phone. And now when I want to switch, it takes forever to load. I feel like there's headphones that can connect to multiple devices at the same time. In my view, like, AirPods should be capable of doing that, like, in the future, where you can put in your AirPods and now all of your Apple devices will play all of their audio through your headphones. That way you don't have to think about, like, which device is this connected to? Like, you just put them in and then all sound your Mac, all sound your iPad, all sound your phone makes, all go through the headphones. That's how I would want it. Now they don't want to connect to the phone, so I apologize. Do you notice the magnets being stronger in the case? Well, the MagSafe charge case, obviously, but yeah, the pods going in, not so much. Let me toy around with that, I guess, while I'm waiting for these to connect. So that's AirPods 3. They kind of need to be positioned just the right way. Like, they don't They don't go in the case probably as snappy as AirPods 2 because you can still run into things like this and they can pop out. But yeah, once you get them lined up right, not a big deal, but huh. Do you notice the magnets being stronger? When do you think AirPods Pro 2 will be out, and what do you think will be new? I saw a fairly legit-looking leak that they would have a speaker built into the case so that you can ping your AirPods if you lose the charge case, and you don't have the pods themselves in them. You can like ping them from the phone, and they also had like a wrist attachment thing. Not a wrist like a strap, so you could like put a little strap around the charge case. Outside of that, I mean, they might tinker the drivers a bit. They might improve the sound quality a tad, but I think the biggest thing AirPods Pro probably need updated is battery life, because right now they have the worst battery life in the entire lineup. Like AirPods 2 lasts 5 hours per bud. AirPods Pro lasts 4.5, and AirPods 3 lasts 6 hours. So I guess it is 4.5 hours with active noise cancellation. So, okay, now is it connected? It says it's connected via Bluetooth, but okay, now I had to. It's such a buggy experience switching between so many different devices, but it's not giving me like the. It says AirPods 2, but it's not giving me the AirPods icon. Whatever. I have tried spatial audios, but let me listen to this song again with AirPods 2. What just happened? They just like disconnected in the middle of the song. Why? I didn't even touch anything. Like I didn't touch any headphones. I was listening to the song and it just disconnected. No, the case does not attach to the iPhone. I got deja vu when you said, "Let me fiddle with this while I wait for these to work," or whatever you said. My AirPods 3rd gen switch from my iPad, watch, phone, and TV. Tried the Pros, but they don't fit right. Oh, interesting. So the 3s fit, but not the Pros. Okay, let me try this again. I think they're connected now. Turning it up. And I just lightly tapped them and they disconnect. They stop playing. Put them back in. Hello. They do not want to stay connected to my phone for some reason. Huh. So this whole go into Bluetooth settings on your Mac so they don't automatically pair doesn't seem to work. I don't think they're trying to pair to the Mac, but now they don't want to pair to anything. Okay, they're playing again. These still have very heavy bass. Yeah, they keep disconnecting. That's frustrating. Oh, Apple. It just works, right? It's a seamless experience. Okay, I got enough listening time in, even though they did not want to keep playing. Oh, well. Let me switch to AirPods 3 and see if they connect okay. I'm going to put them in. They feel very snug. They say connected on the iPhone. Whoa, Kyle McConnell just super chatted 15. Thank you. Just a emoji of a chicken egg. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Okay. These are... I'm trying to stretch my non-audiophile muscles here, but I feel like they're highlighting more of the mids. The bass is still there, but it's less overbearing, which, to be frank, I'm not sure if there's one I prefer more than the other. In terms of pure sound quality, in terms of design and value, obviously AirPods 3 are great. I love the MagSafe case, and I love the look, and I like the Force stem, but I feel like these are going for a more well-rounded audio level, and my stupid non-audiophile ears probably just like having heavier bass, even if it's not technically better by someone's standard. Let me keep playing it here. Soak it in. It's interesting. Yeah, it certainly feels like an extra level of clarification on the highs and mids. Weird. Okay. Now I got to try AirPods Pro. Hopefully they connect. I'll put them back in their case. Hopefully that makes a difference. I'm going to close them, put them in their case. Literally thought for the sec the sound was the start of the AirPods 3. Like they must sound that loud. I'm having a right ear infection or something, so I haven't been able to test my AirPods 3. Ooh, yikes. Hope you get that healed quickly. Great for talking in audiobooks. I guess that's true. All right. Putting AirPods 3 back. Switching to Pros, which have the seal. And they also make that like occasional slight hissing sound. They go whenever you put them in your ear the right way. I know what that is. It's like the ultrasonic frequencies of the microphones interfering with each other. My friend used to have Bose headphones that did that. Thank you, Lord Zero, for the super chat, super sticker. He just said, keep it up. There's so many generous people today that are just super chatting and not saying anything. Like, why do you do this? It's very nice of you, but I'm confused. Anyway. Okay, AirPods Pro are in. I don't believe they're connected. I'm going to connect them on the phone now. See if that worked. Yeah, the phone is still confused. It's like, what? Okay, I think it just connected to the right one. Okay, now it connected to both. There we go. All right, I'm going to restart the song. Yeah, you're getting that kind of natural... You can tell the sound has been more isolated by the passive noise cancellation with the rubber seal. So it feels like I'm not hearing my surroundings as much or my voice, but the sound is very clear. Interesting. It's actually very similar in my mind to AirPods 3. I know I'm not an audio guy, but like it almost feels very, very close to AirPods 3, just my ears feel more plugged up because of the rubber seal. Maybe I should turn on A and C, see if that makes a difference. I'm on transparency mode right now. Noise cancellation. Yeah, now I feel deaf. I hear the music, but I can't even hear myself talking. Oh, weird. It almost, I could be hearing things, but it almost feels like the bass levels go at a slightly lower frequency on AirPods Pro, and AirPods 3 don't quite get that low. So I guess that's what Randy was touching on in his stream. He feels like the AirPods Pro are still superior in sound quality. But I just want to remind people that sound quality is so subjective, because I can technically hear what people are saying of like being able to hear the lower frequencies and getting more clarity on the mids and highs, but simultaneously, like, I still think my ears kind of like having that. I'm sorry. I gotta pause this. It's so weird listening to music and talking at the same time, especially with noise cancellation on. Transparency mode makes it sound/feel the same. Yeah, like sound quality wise, comfort wise, I still think AirPods Pro feel very, very different. I would say they feel more noticeable. Like these don't blend into the background as much for me. I mean, obviously I can kind of forget they're there when I get distracted by work or something, but when you put them in, it's very noticeable that like, okay, something is occupying your ear canal and it's filling it up. Whereas, let me switch back to AirPods 3 now. Better sound isolation equals more bass. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that you can actually have more bass without much sound isolation. Because in this side-by-side, when I'm going from AirPods 2 to 3 to Pro, the AirPods 2 feel like they have the heaviest bass, which I understand there are probably lots of people out there that would say the bass is too heavy on the AirPods 2, but I think that's to compensate for the lack of noise isolation. All right, let me on that thought, let me switch back to... Oh, don't connect to those. I put those in the case. Did they... Oh, wait, these are the three. Never mind. I forgot which AirPods I put in. I just tried AirPods Pro. Now I'm switching back to AirPods 3. Playing the music again. Yeah, it's very close, I got to admit. It feels basically like same amount of noise clarity in the mids and highs, same amount of low frequencies with the bass, but without the rubber seal taking up a bunch of space in my ears. These feel far more comfortable to me. Huh. There's a reason why open back headphones can't go super low frequency sub bass. I believe there's a reason. I'm just saying AirPods 2 of the comparison seem to have the heaviest bass. They both sound great, to be fair. It's not like one of these sound terrible. It's actually very fascinating. This is a weird audio experience for me because I feel like I'm not an audiophile, but I'm like slowly becoming one. Maybe audiophile is not the right word. It's kind of like how Randy has said on the Tech Podcast. He notices the difference between 120 hertz and 60 hertz, and if the option is there for 120, he'll take it, but it's not like he can't live without 120 hertz. That's where I am. I'm in the world of like everything that's not 120 hertz sucks, and I want everything to be 120. But for me, it's kind of like the opposite of I can tell an audible difference between AirPods 3 Pro and 2. Like if I was blindfolded and someone just put each of them in my ear, I would be able to probably predict fairly easily. And I wish I had someone else that could do that test for me, but just be like, okay, which AirPods are these? And I can't see, and they put them in. I'd probably be able to tell the difference, but it's not like one is objectively better than the other. I think that's something I'll push back on with the audio community. Is so there's so many comments and there's so many people out there that are always like, do they sound better than the Pros or do they sound better than AirPods 2? And I'm like, it depends on what kind of audio preference you want. Whereas I feel like in the refresh rate market, it's like there's people who care about higher refresh rate and there's people who don't care. It's not like there's a bunch of people saying 60 hertz is objectively better than 120. It's just people that are like 120, I guess, is better, but I don't notice the difference, so I would rather have better battery life, so I guess I'll take 60. But they're not trying to say like 60 hertz is a superior viewing experience. They're just saying the 120 doesn't make a difference. Whereas with this, it's like I can notice the difference, and I'm still okay. Let me listen to it a little bit longer. Man, these are just so much more comfortable though. All right. Last test. Well, I shouldn't say last test, but last run through as I'm connecting between all these different headphones. I want to switch back to AirPods 2 and see if my ears are remembering things correctly. Connected to the phone, please. Thank you. I think they are. Okay, restarting the song. Yeah. I think maybe I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, audiophiles out there. But I feel like the AirPods 2 are like eating into the mids with bass sound, even though it's not using the bass section of the headphone. Yeah, okay. Listening. Oh my, it keeps disconnecting for no reason. This is so confusing. Oh, it just reconnected. It was like dun dun dun, right back to back. Okay, I'm going to keep playing. But do they sound better than AirPods Max? AirPods Max probably sounds better than all these, but I hate them. uh, am I crazy for suggesting that? Like Apple is using some of the tweeters that are used for the mids to put more into the bass on AirPods 2. Even if the bass itself, like the hardware, isn't quite as good, they're compensating by lack of mid. Maybe I'm crazy, but maybe I just don't care as much about mids and highs. Because from a personal, subjective viewpoint, these have very, very heavy bass, and I kind of love it. Is that weird? Like, I don't know. Maybe when I was a kid, I kind of got used to the idea that I'm probably talking really loud, aren't I? As I'm listening to all this. As a kid, I kind of maybe got used to the idea that if headphones had heavier bass, that made them sound better. So even though other people may not agree with me, I feel like having the heavier bass is kind of nice. Like I don't know, it kind of just packs more of a punch. And maybe that's not how I should be reviewing headphones, by their bassiness, but for my own subjective reasons, these sound still pretty good. I got to admit, I'm not in the viewpoint of like AirPods 3 sound so much better. It's like they're a different approach to audio. I can tell they sound different, but they're emphasizing the mids and highs, which I guess is better for talking, podcasts and audiobooks and that kind of thing, and YouTube. But I really, really like hearing heavy bass in a song. You're going to love the next beats then. You said it perfectly earlier. AirPods 2 is compensating for the lack of sound by pushing the bass. And it's kind of working for me. Like, they're compensating by their lack of detail with the mids and highs, that they're overemphasizing the bass, but I kind of like that. Change your EQ to tell us which one is better. I'm using the default EQ across everything just to keep it fair and objective. Obviously, you can tinker around with the EQ. I'm wearing earpods right now while lying down on my left side, and the left one keeps falling out. Uh-oh. Normal audio listeners tend to prefer more bass, hence why Apple made the right choice of making AirPods 2 more heavy bass. Yeah, I think considering how well they have sold the traditional AirPods, that was probably the right call, because the average listener, you're right, isn't going to be like, yes, these highs and mids sound very well balanced. They're just going to be like, wow, that bass is good. The reason they're connected back-to-back is because they locked up and they just updated after you put them in the case. Well, that's stupid. They shouldn't be doing that. They should wait till like midnight when they know for a fact I'm not traditionally using my headphones. We currently own AirPods first gen and tried second gen, but to me AirPods 3 are better than those. That's good. I would definitely say the design looks better. This looks very dated now after seeing AirPods 3 and AirPods Pro with the new like shorter stem and the force pressure sensitivity. AirPods 3 are great for movies. Yeah, I bet they are. A V-shaped sound is what most people prefer. Excessive bass can 100% eat into mids. Apple boosts the bass and higher end a bit on their default EQ on all AirPods. I kind of like that choice, is what I guess I'm trying to articulate. I can definitely tell there's a difference in audio, but I can't objectively say one is better than the other. I think one is probably better for a certain demographic, but I'm not sure if I'm in that demographic. Like, I'm just being completely honest with you guys. I'm trying to articulate my opinions on this. I think I still prefer the sound quality direction that AirPods 2 go in. Not saying AirPods 3 and Pro are bad. It's just when I put AirPods 2 back in and I start listening, I'm just like, that's got a punch to it that the other ones don't really have. I'm sure they kind of have a punch, but it's obviously, I think I just grew up with this design and I've gotten too used to it. Like, this was the same basic pod design that Apple had on the original earpods that came with my iPhone 5, and all the earpods that came before the iPhone 5 were pretty god-awful. Remember, like, the circular speaker that you would put in? Those were, like, the best-sounding headphones I knew at the time because I didn't really have something else, and then the iPhone 5 came out with the new earpods, and I tried those, and I was like, oh my god, this sounds so much better. It's so clear. Like, I can hear so much. And I just grew up with that design. And, of course, I loved the original AirPods when they came out, and I used them like crazy. And now Apple is going for a more well-rounded audio experience that doesn't emphasize the bass so much, and it's just less bass than I'm accustomed to. And, yeah, the mids and highs are better, but that doesn't wow me as much, I guess. Because it's like I can still pick that up here. It's just kind of toned down a bit. Like, I watch these. I put AirPods 2 in when I'm watching YouTube videos or listening to podcasts and whatnot, and I can still hear everything fine. There's just a tad more bass than the other headphones, but something that does make a very, very noticeable difference, at least in my lifestyle and my use case of headphones, is active noise cancellation. That is objectively better on a plane, when you're mowing the lawn, when you're operating, equipment that are pretty, that's pretty loud. So like having active noise cancellation makes a very noticeable, like objectively better experience, for certain use cases, which is why I'm pretty confident I'll be sticking with AirPods Pro for the foreseeable future. I just hope mine don't like degrade too much. Like I hope I can keep using them. Bass is nice. Beats are for bass. Yeah, I just wonder, like Apple making Beats harder and harder to find on their website, what the long-term future of Beats are. I generally like Beats from the ones I've tried out, but there's always like minor things that I miss on them. Like I didn't review what are they called? The Beats Studio Buds, but weren't those lacking a wireless charging case? Well, now, ever since Apple has MagSafe charging on AirPods 3, I know I'm definitely going to want that on whatever my next AirPods are. I want them to be able to do this. This is nice. And I don't want to have to charge my wireless headphones with a wire because they're wireless. So I don't actually, by the way. All of these headphones here that I'm showing you I charge all of these on MagSafe. Like when the battery gets low, I don't look around for a lightning cable. I just leave them on my MagSafe Duo, or I leave them on the MagSafe Puck at my desk. And overnight, they definitely charge slowly over MagSafe, but I definitely don't want to keep a lightning cable around. And I know that the Beats Studio Buds have USB-C, but I typically am either using that for, wireless for something that I'm not transferring data with is still better. That's why I've said I want the iPhone to have USB-C, but I'm not going to upgrade my phone for it because I prefer doing everything over MagSafe. If it's a non-pro, tool, like if it's just a general media consumption device like AirPods, which there are long extended periods where I'm not using my headphones, so it's okay for me to drop them in the case and just drop them on MagSafe and they charge up. That's no big deal. Definitely more convenient than having to keep a USB-C cable around. I already have a Type-C cable here on my desk that I use for my iPad, but I would rather just drop my headphones on a MagSafe Puck than just unplug my iPad and use the USB-C on the headphones and then have to unplug them, because this is a two-handed process, right? Like if you want to plug in something with a wire, you got to use two hands, whereas MagSafe, you can drop it with one hand and that saves time. That's more convenient. So I appreciate that the the Beats Studio Buds, I appreciate that they have Type-C. Oh my God, Joshua, what are you doing? Why did you donate $20? Oh my God. Have a great day, he says. That was incredibly generous of you. Thank you. What percentage do you charge your AirPods case at? I guess, I don't know. I'll leave them on the AirPod. I'll leave them on the MagSafe Puck if they're below like 40% or so. Second and third gen fits are different. Yeah, like for me, all of these fit fairly well. I'm not in any camp where I'm like, I can't use these AirPods, they don't fit at all. It's just I'm kind of torn. I'm kind of split on this because I feel like, what am I wearing right now? Okay, AirPod. Thank you, Juan Gonzalez, for the super chat. What feature of Monterey do you like? You are great. I haven't had much experience with Monterey. I've only been using it on the MacBook. I have not put it on my iMac Pro yet because I like having a backup. And Monterey's been fairly buggy, I'll be honest. There's been a few issues with the software, a few apps crashing. But anyway, thank you, Joshua, for the super chat. AirPods 3 are so comfortable. That's what I love about these. Like, the stem is shorter, and they feel more like AirPods Pro in that regard. And I love the Force stem. I basically never do the tapping thing on AirPods 2. I think that's kind of stupid. When the indicator is orange, yeah. Second and third gen fits are different. Can't wait for universal control. I think that's my favorite feature, and it's not even out yet, right? Like the public release of Monterey doesn't have universal control. So I'm kind of, the Monterey was an interesting update, but I think the most interesting things about it are not necessarily things available right now. Like one feature that I'm really, really glad they brought to Monterey is that you can just erase all content in settings. You don't have to go in like this factory reset. You don't have to go into this like recovery mode to factory reset your Mac. You can just do what you do on an iPhone and iPad and just be like, erase all content in settings, and then it reboots and treats itself like a brand new Mac. I appreciate that feature, but it's not something I'm going to use all the time. I'm only going to use it basically when I review Macs or sell Macs. So I'll use that once or twice a year, but I'm glad it's there. Universal control I could see myself using all the time, but it's not out yet. So not that excited for the current release of Monterey. Like, what's a interesting feature that's out now? What like AirPlay? I guess I haven't messed around with that. You can AirPlay to another Mac on Monterey. I don't know. That kind of useful, I guess, but not that big a deal. Charging AirPods with Lightning instead of wirelessly just feels wrong to me because they should be more truly wireless. Thank you, Sonny. Sonny, I'm totally in the same camp as you. I'm like, these are wireless. I don't want to have to use a wire during this whole experience. I want to be able to pull the AirPods out of their case without a wire, and I want to charge the AirPods without a wire. What's my costume for Halloween? I'm just going to hold a loaf of bread and then say I'm a gingerbread man. And my wife is going to pretend to be a serial killer, and she's just going to have cereal boxes with like knives sticking into them. We're very lazy but cute, I know. I like the addition of Siri shortcuts in Mac OS. Yeah, I've never used much SharePlay. See that I know SharePlay is a thing on iOS 15 and iPadOS 15, but I've not found that to be a common use case. Like, I'm glad it's there. For me, I should say. It's not a common use case for me. I know there's other people out there that probably want to share their screen or share, they want to watch a movie with their friends that are far away and that kind of thing. But I have not run into that. I have not been in a situation where I'm like, man, I wish I could show people my screen. Like, it hasn't come up. I know I have the feature, but what amount of time you recommend to have with AirPods because there's no battery health info? Well, just hold on to them as long as you can. I mean, the only reason that you should consider replacing or upgrading your AirPods is if your old pair isn't cutting it anymore, whether it's because they don't have active noise cancellation and you think that's going to be a useful feature, or one of them gets quieter than the other, and or they start sounding worse and they get so quiet and you can't use them anymore, or the battery gets so bad that you can't get through the day with them. So there's not like a specific time that says you should upgrade them after X amount of years. It's like, if they're still working for you 4 years later, I don't know how, but I've seen that comment occasionally. There's some people that are like, I use the first generation AirPods to this day and they still work great for me. It's like, okay, good. That's amazing. I don't know how you stopped the cycles from going down, or you stopped one of them from getting quieter than the other, because that feels like inevitable. It's like, it's not a bug, that's not a slight defect with some AirPods. That's like all of them. They all get impacted by that. So I would hold on to your AirPods as long as you possibly can, as long as they cover what you need them to. There's no need to upgrade them just because you don't know the battery health. That's not a big deal. Let's see. Have a 13-year-old that have started watching movies and they can't get together when they can't get together. Yeah, I fully agree and admit that there are use cases for people out there for SharePlay. Like, I'm glad it's a feature. I'm glad it exists. I'm just not in the camp of it. It's my same viewpoint of AirTags. I think AirTags are genius. They're really, really smart. I think they're really affordable, and I would recommend them to a ton of people, but not in my. I don't own an AirTag. I sold mine to someone who needed it because I was like, yeah, I don't lose stuff very much. So I don't have a need for an AirTag, but I think they're a great product. I think that's something Nick was having a hard time. That concept on the last tech podcast, Nick was having a hard time grasping. The idea that there can be a good product that's not for you. He didn't like that concept. It was either the product isn't for me, therefore it is bad, or the product is for me and it is good. There's no in between. I don't know if he was playing that up for the audience or if that's how he really feels, but how often do you just use one pod pretty much I can't do that. It gives me a headache if I get audio in one and not the other. But the reason for my AirPods battery health to be out of sync with each other is because I do use my headphones for FaceTime calls quite a bit. I'll talk with Nick and Randy for 3-4 hours every week over FaceTime, and I'm pretty much only wearing AirPods whenever that happens. And for those who aren't aware, whenever you're on a FaceTime call, one AirPod is using the microphone and one isn't, which means that one AirPod will always drain faster than the other. So as long as you have a default microphone on one, that's going to go through more cycles than the other side, which is why typically one of my AirPods will get quiet and I'll need to replace it eventually. So that's not a bug. That's not something that Apple can fix or anything. That's just physics working against them. In your honest opinion, are they worth the money, and what's one thing you would change about them? Which one? You have to be more specific. We've got 3 pairs of AirPods here. Worth is very subjective, is something I'll always say. You know, obviously, if you have $1 million and tons of disposable income and you don't have any debt, of course, buy as many AirPods as you want. Buy all of them for all I care. Just use what you want. But if you're trying to save up for college, or you're trying to save up for, I don't know, a new car because your old car sucks, or you're trying to save up for a down payment on a house, don't be blowing all your savings on stuff like this, because it doesn't make that big a difference if you're in debt and you're trying to get out of it and that kind of thing. I would say for most people, this is great. This is fine. AirPods 2 is what I'm going to recommend to everybody outside of the tech community. Like, there's very few reasons I think an average consumer should get AirPods 3 for the extra $50. Other than, I guess, battery life being better, but honestly, I don't really think AirPods 2 battery life is that bad. AirPods Pro, I would still say, are certainly worth it if you're going for if you need earbuds that are small, compact, and can fit in your pocket comfortably, that have active noise cancellation. Like, that's their best selling point. Like, to me, you want my personal opinion, like, I don't think the sound quality difference is enough to differentiate your purchase. Like, yeah, okay, these sound better than AirPods 2 because they're more well-rounded or whatever, but some people, I think, are going to just prefer heavier bass, like me. Some people like McDonald's. Some people like their cheap, crappy headphones, and the difference between these two is not going to matter much to the average consumer. So I actually prefer the sound quality of these slightly. I can understand what they're going for here, and I can respect it. Like, okay, more well-balanced, better mids, better highs, and these sound a tad more muddled, but I really, really like having that more punchy bass, and that's what AirPods 2 still offer. The design of these are better, and like the force stem is better, but I don't know, $50 more. I'd have a hard time. Like, I know several people in my personal life, like, you know, like my sister and her husband, or my parents, or my uncles and aunts that are like, I want wireless headphones, because of course they hate having the wire going from the phone. And, you know, like my uncle is a landlord, so he's working on houses a lot, and he wants to listen to music, but doesn't always want a Bluetooth speaker, so he wants some headphones he can just plug into. Like, I'm not going to recommend him get the 3 over the 2 just so that he can have a more well-rounded, like, he just wants headphones. He doesn't really care much about the audio balance of bass, mids, and highs. It's just like, can I hear stuff? I would recommend him something like AirPods 2. AirPods 3, I would say, are good for the tech community that doesn't care about active noise cancellation. I think that's where I would pitch it. Like, if you're the type of person to watch these live streams and watch tech videos and watch unboxings and watch AirPods reviews, that means you're the type of person that's a bit more engaged in the tech community. Like, how do they feel and how do they sound? And you know, like, what's the fit and finish, and what's the sound quality balance compared to AirPods 2. If you're that type of person that you care about those types of differences, and you feel like AirPods 2 have too much heavy bass, and you want a more audiophile tuned audio experience, if you're that demographic, I would say AirPods 3 is great, because they're $70 cheaper than AirPods Pro. And the battery life is longer. You got the MagSafe charging, which is awesome. and you got the water resistance. Like, these aren't bad by any means. I still think they're a great value at $180. I just have a hard time justifying them to a lot of people when you can save $50 and get a very similar experience with AirPods 2. This hinge, I don't know, like, feels kind of lightweight. I'm feeling it now. It doesn't rock side to side as much as the old cases do. This is something I've had lots of people comment on, like the old AirPods. You open these up, you can feel the case like rattling back and forth when you apply. Not that anyone ever does this, but you can feel it rattle back and forth when you apply pressure to the sides. AirPods Pro, they do the same thing. AirPods 3, I think they figured out a way to stop it because it doesn't rock side to side for mine. It kind of does. Maybe it'll just get loose over time, and this is brand new, so it's not loose yet. But they look so clean, though. I love the matte finish on the inside. I dig that look. And I like how small the case is. It's definitely smaller than... Yeah, it's like just a tad taller, but it's definitely smaller than the AirPods Pro case. So if you care about that at all, they're very, very compact. AirPods Pro, I'd recommend to anybody who's like, I want wireless headphones with good transparency mode and great active noise cancellation. At this point, though, I would kind of recommend waiting because we've already seen a leaked image of the second generation AirPods Pro. We shouldn't believe all the leaks, I know, but I just think that it's slightly more believable when a leak is like, here's this image that features a hardware improvement that sounds like something Apple would do. Adding a speaker. Oh, I don't know how to say your name, but thank you for the super chat. Eager to buy a MagSafe case for AirPods Pro alone. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised Apple's not selling one because they used to sell a wireless charge case for AirPods 2 back when those first came out. So it's kind of interesting that they didn't do that. But I like the MagSafe puck thing because I have switched over completely to MagSafe. I don't use any standard Qi chargers anymore, and the fact that I can they snap on like that and you're good, like, that is cool. I really, really like that. And for the longest time, I was like, these AirPods are too small. They're not going to be able to fit the circular magnet on these, but they found a way to do it. I'm sure it's not an actual circle. It's probably just a few magnets in the corners, just here, here, and here, and that's enough. I think I saw a teardown. I'm not sure if it was legit or not, but someone did a teardown, and they just put in a couple of magnets in the corners, and that brings it close enough to the edges. But it explains as to why it's not as secure a connection as the iPhones, because the iPhones is an actual ring. So I want this on all things. You know, bring MagSafe support to everything, if at all possible. But it's a little bit clunky to get off. But yeah, same thing with the iPhone. You got to pinch it on the back, which takes a little bit of getting used to. But I'm sure the tech reviewers out there are going to be like, oh, this is so annoying. I have to, like, pull it off the back, whatever. It's like, it's a muscle memory. It's not a big deal. That's what everyone was talking about with the iPhone. When you put MagSafe on the back, they're like, oh, no, I have to disconnect it. It's so complicated. It's like, you just do this. It's not that hard. You can do it with one hand. So I drop it. It's charging. And then done. Problem solved. AirPods Pro is bae. Yeah, it's... Every pair of AirPods I've reviewed ever since the Pros have come out have made me really appreciate the Pros for what they are. Although I do think that they feel very dated now. They're coming up on 2 years old. I think they have hit that mark, haven't they? Didn't these come out in October of 2019? So yeah, these are over 2 years old, I think. MagSafe is amazing. That's so weird. Sorry for the lag. It didn't do what it normally did. It was like frames. Normally on OBS, like the stream health indicator will go like yellow or red when Starlink starts lagging. This time OBS just said disconnected, but it was still green, and I could still see your guys' chat. There was no interruption in the chat. Super chat's name would be pronounced Barai. Barai, thank you for the super chat. Hopefully I got that right. Oh, Beret, sorry. Let's see. I wish there was an AirPods 2 MagSafe case sold separately. I like the shape of my AirPods. I just wish it had MagSafe charging. Yeah, that'd be interesting if they offered that. Like, these are very close. Where'd the case go? Like, these are very, very close in size. That's AirPods 2 and 3 case. This is probably just a tad wider, but for the most part, I'm sure if you can make this MagSafe compatible, there's definitely a way to just put those same magnets in this. They're probably just viewing it as like these are too old, and the reason they're so cheap is because they're dated, and like just like you buy an old iPhone that's cheaper, like iPhone 11 from Apple now is like $500, just because it's older. That's probably the logic they're taking with this, so I wouldn't be shocked if eventually they phase this out entirely, which I'll be kind of sad about because I do kind of like the way it sounds, but yeah, I feel like I want to keep holding on to these. Honestly, for everything that doesn't require active noise cancellation, I want to keep hanging on to them, use them as long as I can. But AirPods Pro, I don't think that the speaker built into the case so that you can ping them, kind of the same. It's not that expensive, right? Like on the AirTags, there's a tiny little speaker that's obviously on a $30 product. Oh, Perez Vantine? Thank you for the super chat. Great show. I don't know what currency that's in, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Zachary says no drops on my end. I've actually had 0 frame drops in today's live stream. When we've been live for over an hour and 6 minutes, it's a 0% frame drop. So well done, Starlink. Starlink's doing really, really well. I think it was actually an OBS problem because you guys are saying I didn't see any lag. I think OBS lost connection with YouTube, not even Starlink, because the chat was fine. Anyway, I think that the speaker they put in AirTags is not that expensive, and if they can fit one of those little AirTag speakers into the AirPods Pro case, you'll be able to track those down pretty easy, and they'll be able to sell it as a pro feature, like, hey, easier to track these down if they get lost in a couch or they're somewhere in the house and you just want to ping them. You'll be able to, even if the pods aren't in the case, you'll be able to ping them. And there's probably other changes as well. Like, I don't know exactly how Apple improved the battery life and the sound quality on AirPods 3 while bringing the price down. Like, that's awesome, especially with inflation. Like, any price drops should be very, very much appreciated considering how the US dollar is getting weaker and weaker right now. Adjusted for inflation, I bet AirPods 3 are cheaper than the original AirPods were, because it's like $180 and the original AirPods were $170, but there's been a crap ton of inflation in the past few years. So, yeah, like, I bet there will be some kind of chip improvement. Did they talk about the silicon in AirPods 3? Let me look it up on the website, actually. I'm curious, because I don't recall them saying anything like... did they say these have a new improved H chip? Let me check tech specs. No, it still says H1. I'm looking at it right now for those curious. So AirPods 3 still says H1, but they improved the battery life. Did they just stuff a bigger battery in there? Is that all they did? They improved the sound quality with MagSafe case. It's Bluetooth 5. I don't know if that made a big difference. Are AirPods Pro Bluetooth 5? I can't remember. It's been so long since I've gone to the AirPods Pro tech specs. I'll double check. You guys probably already answered me. Yeah, it is. Okay, it's been Bluetooth 5. I knew it was like that. Bluetooth 5 has been around for a while. But they both use the same chip. It's just that the transparency mode uses more energy and active noise cancellation uses more energy. I guess the battery life is the same if you turn off both, but no one does that. I feel like most people put it on active noise cancellation, or up to 3.5 hours of talk time with a single charge. Where's AirPods 3 talk time? Because that does matter to me a lot, especially when I do prolonged podcasts. 4 hours talk time with a single charge. Okay, so it's like 30 minutes longer, 6 hours of listening time. Oh, up to 5 hours with spatial audio. Interesting. So if you turn off spatial audio, battery life is longer, but with it on, it's about the same as regular AirPods. That's interesting. 5 minutes in the case provides around 1 hour of listening time. That's great. Oh, I forgot. These come with a Lightning to USB-C cable. That's okay. You'll just have to trust me. It's in there. It's in the box. I assure you. But yeah, it's a interesting approach to the AirPods lineup. This is kind of in a weird place for me personally because I don't view them as sounding objectively better than AirPods 2. But most audiophiles will probably say yes, they do sound objectively better because you get more clarity in the mids and highs. But to me, that's less noticeable than heavier bass. So I like them. I like the design and I like the price point because it was lower than I thought. But yeah, it's still going to be, I think, in terms of what I end up keeping and using extended periods for one, I already feel like I have too many headphones. I already think it's kind of redundant and unnecessary for me to use AirPods 2 sometimes and AirPods Pro other times. So I definitely would feel weird about selling AirPods. I feel like I wouldn't get much money back because I'm sure people don't spend much on used AirPods and they're probably fairly dirty, full of earwax. So unlike my iPhone or my Apple Watch, it's kind of difficult to sell these to help offset the cost of new AirPods. Also, I very stupidly, I don't know why I did this. At the time, I guess, I wanted to showcase that AirPods offer engraving now, but I got an engraving on my AirPods 2 that they just say Tailosive Tech on them. It was kind of cool when I first got them. I was like, wow, look, you can brand your AirPods, but Apple probably knew that would kill your resale value. So, and the other thing is I still kind of like how these sound, so I don't really want to sell my AirPods 2. Even if I did, I would probably only get like, $50 for them because they're old and they've got earwax in them, and I'm sure the battery health isn't great, and people know that. So it's stupid of me to keep 3 pairs of AirPods. It's kind of stupid of me to keep 2 pairs of AirPods. So I feel like my gut reaction right now of what I'm going to do, I mean, obviously this isn't my final review. I got to spend some more time using these and wearing these and see what differences they make in my day-to-day consumption. But my gut reaction right now is to just not keep AirPods 3 and just keep using AirPods Pro because, again, there are a lot of flights we're planning on making in the next year, and that there are a lot of times I plan on mowing the lawn and operating more heavy-duty equipment and machinery. Why sell them? You got 6% back from your Mac. Well, I didn't get 6% back from my AirPods. It's still money, Josh. It's not like, I mean, the cost of the AirPods don't change just because I got 6% cash back. Like, I could have $180 and put it towards the Tesla fund, or I could not have $180 and have a third pair of headphones. So Drew has his whole world in his hands and he's not satisfied. The whole world. It's a Japanese name, and I'm pretty sure it's more like Ba-Ra-E, love from Japan. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Wish they would have added lossless support to the Pros. That's what I really wanted. I don't know if that's technically possible. The definition of lossless means that there can't be any like audio conversion process going around. That's why AirPods Max technically don't support lossless, because you have to convert the audio signal from analog to digital when you go from the headphone jack to Lightning, and then it's that conversion process that results in it not technically being lossless. So I'm sure there's a conversion process you have to take when you go from Bluetooth to headphones. So you can get high bitrate audio to Bluetooth, but you can't technically call it lossless as far as I'm aware. I don't like the AirPods Max, to be honest. Like, the sound quality is good, but I hate the case, and I hate that they use Lightning. There's not like a perfect pair of AirPods, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Probably the pair of AirPods that would fit my use case best is a refreshed pair of AirPods Pro. Luckily, there's nothing really wrong with my AirPods Pro right now, but I feel like I've had them for a long time. After about a year of ownership, I did replace the case and one of the buds because they were within warranty. Keep in mind, you don't need Apple Care for that. If you have a pair of AirPods and they start acting up 12 months into ownership, you can get a free replacement case. You can get a free replacement bud. So I replaced the quieter one. Or no, it wasn't quieter. It was like one of them wasn't charging. I kept putting it in the case, and no matter what I did, it wouldn't charge. So they sent me a new AirPod. I think it was a left one, and then they sent me a new case, and now it charges fine. So by giving headphones Wi-Fi / cellular, would that make them lossless? Theoretically, you could, but they wouldn't be connected playing music from your phone. The process of pairing your phone to your AirPods and loading the music onto the phone and then casting the music to the headphone, that you couldn't do lossless as far as I'm aware. I'm not an audiophile, so Randy, correct me if I'm wrong. But if you streamed the music off of, Apple servers directly to the headphones, which I think is technically possible if they started giving them Wi-Fi connectivity, but they don't right now. I remember I think it was John Prosser who was saying, like, the lossless update is going to make all AirPods support lossless audio because you'll be able to connect to them over Wi-Fi. And I'm like, they don't have Wi-Fi chips in them. That's not how headphones work. And everyone was like, you'll see. They'll send an update out to all these headphones and suddenly they'll support lossless. And I was like, no, that's not how that works. It's like, you can't send out a software update that magically adds Wi-Fi modems to AirPods. Like, AirPods technically support AirPlay, but the only way to connect to them is Bluetooth. You can't connect to AirPods over Wi-Fi. They can show up in AirPlay settings on your TV, but AirPlay is this weird Apple marketing term for covering up Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and just saying, like, this is how you connect devices to each other. But if they added Wi-Fi modems to the AirPods, which they probably could, the Apple Watch has cellular and Wi-Fi modems. It would probably be much easier to add modems to the AirPods Max because they're bigger. But stuffing them in pods is technically possible, but then basically either Apple would have to come up with some weird software workaround where, like, if you're connected to AirPods with the Wi-Fi modems in them, you select a song on the phone, and then the phone tells the AirPods to stream the music directly to them. Because HomePods do support lossless playback, and that's because they're not connected to your phone over Bluetooth. They're pulling the music. The lossless audio file is going straight from Apple servers, straight over the internet, directly to the HomePod. So if you could recreate that process with the headphones, you could theoretically get to a point where AirPods could play lossless, but not with the current hardware. That's what I have to keep reiterating to people. You can't send out a software update to these things that make them lossless. Other point as to why Apple probably won't do that is because the drivers and the tweeters and the sound quality that these things are capable of reaching couldn't make an audible difference between compressed audio and lossless audio. There wouldn't be you wouldn't be able to discern a difference because these don't really have the sound quality to demonstrate much of that. Also, yes, Randy is correct. It would take a huge hit on battery. The battery life on AirPods is already fairly limited, and they have to be very careful with how much energy they consume. And playing back lossless audio would eat through your battery very, very quick. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference with drivers like this. So it's kind of pointless. It's really not necessary. AirPods Max is the type of headphones that might be able to actually demonstrate, a lossless audio signal. But the truth is, the best sound audio these things can make is over wireless. Like, they're not going to magically sound better if we found a way to stream the music to them in a right way. You wouldn't notice. A modem is different than Wi-Fi modem, connects to the internet directly. Wi-Fi doesn't. You can call it whatever you want. I'm just saying these don't have the hardware to stream music to them directly. They need to get all of their audio from Bluetooth. There's no way around that. That's it. That's the fact. Wasn't U1 supposed to be this next level connectivity that made connection stronger and faster? U1 is more about spatial awareness. It's not so much about data transfer. It's not like an alternative to Bluetooth. I've seen some people think that. That's not what it is. It's more so about being able to track down specifically where objects are in a space, which is somewhat useful for spatial audio or air tags and finding items that you may lose, but it's not meant to be an alternative to Bluetooth. AirPods 1 would cost $181 when accounted for inflation compared to $179 for AirPods 3. So yes, AirPods 3 are technically cheaper than OG AirPods. That's amazing, considering how much better they've gotten, and they're technically cheaper. Like, well done, Apple, especially with the chip shortage and everything getting more expensive. Would you recommend AirPods 2 or 3 for someone new to AirPods? If you're an audio person who really, really cares about well-balanced sound and getting all the detail out of those highs and mids, if you're the type of person to use that vocabulary, then I would recommend AirPods 3. I'd say yes, they're of great value, but if you're not that type of person, you don't care about sound quality that much, you just like, I just want some headphones that are reliable and sound good, then I would still recommend AirPods 2. You can save yourself $50, which may not seem like a lot, but when you're talking about something that costs $130, $50 is it's like a 30% higher expense. That's a lot more. I feel like the second gen AirPods Pro will have the H2 chip. Maybe. I certainly think that we're getting close to an AirPods Pro 2 refresh. I'm not sure when. I haven't seen many leakers or analysts come forward and say when they expect AirPods Pro 2 to launch, but it certainly feels like there's a decent number of people expecting a spring event with a new iMac and maybe a new MacBook Air. So I feel like that might be a good time to drop refreshed AirPods. So it could be as soon as March or April. So if you're willing to wait that long, I would say it might be worth the wait. But Apple, I don't think, has ever gone 3 years without upgrading AirPods. They've gone over 2 for sure, but I've never seen them hit 3. So I think that means, I could be wrong, but I think that means we could probably assume AirPods Pro 2 will launch before October of next year, right? Probably before October. What type of person do you recommend an Apple TV? That's a good question. I don't know. Someone who really, really wants a aluminum remote. Because I love the Siri remote, but I hate the box itself. It's so expensive and so unnecessarily large, considering how small TV sticks and little TV dongles can get that day. Well, thank you, Jeffrey. He says I looks great. Whatever workout routine he's been doing. We've been doing weights. We've been doing these and squatting, and we've been falling behind on a few of them lately. But thank you. Anyway, Matthew Venton, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Drew, sorry. A while back, I said I would comment on every tech video. There it is. For 1 year, I failed on my quest within 8 days. I shall begin my quest again after a rigorous mental preparation phase. You can just try your best. You don't have to keep me updated every time you fail. But thank you for the super chat. I think a year from now, new AirPods have come out /fall/winter the past few years. Would the refresh AirPods Pro be announced in an event or through a website refresh? It could go either way now. It seems like most AirPods refreshes have been via site, but this was the first time Apple decided to include it in an event, and a Mac event of all events. I would have thought, why didn't they announce these with the iPhone and the Apple Watch? Like, I feel like that would have gone along perfectly. Maybe it was because they wanted to have a music section in this Mac event for some reason. We're like, let's talk about Apple Music Voice and let's talk about AirPods 3, and we've got some new HomePod colors. So they wanted to delay the AirPods announcement until they could do like a music chapter of the keynote for some reason. But I feel like they would have been perfect to go out alongside the new iPhones and watches. But I think a year. Oh, sorry, I read that. Can the new MacBook Pros run Windows? I think in emulation, but not through Boot Camp. I'm between buying the new AirPods 3 or waiting for Pro 2. I don't like silicon pods, plus don't have any AirPods at the moment. If you don't care about ANC, like if you don't like the silicon pods, do you mean the AirPods Pro, like the rubber tips? If you don't like these, I'm pretty confident the AirPods Pro 2 will still have them. So I would say if that's not a feature you care about, then go with the 3s. I don't have AirPods, think I would lose them, says Chris. Luckily, they are compatible with the Find My network, so they're pretty easy to track down. And the next generation AirPods Pro are probably going to have speakers on them. So if you leave them somewhere in the house and you're not sure where they are, you can just ping them just like you ping your phone. I think they didn't want to take attention away from the iPhones and watch. Well, you can argue that at any time, though. You could be like, well, we didn't want to take away attention from the new MacBooks. It's a Mac event. You could say that anything. Matthew, thank you for the super chat. If I fail again, I shall do a 350-pound donation. Enjoy the MacBook Pro, by the way. Man, that's a big donation, dude. I don't think that's necessary, but hopefully you don't fail. That's going to be an expensive failure. I thought the voice plan was stupid. Then I realized I've probably only opened the music app for maybe 3 times in the past year. That's funny. AirPods Pro are to use quick charge, 5 minutes for 1 hour of use. All AirPods top part of the case are loose. Yeah, it's not that big a deal. Like in all my years, I basically was one of the very, very first AirPods owners in my town, in my area. I know there were probably some people that got AirPods early because of the review embargo and stuff. But for those who don't remember, back in 2016, when Apple unveiled the first generation AirPods that looked very similar to this, they were delayed. They were like, these are coming in October, and then they didn't come out in October. And then they were just saying later this year. And as soon as they were available, I got my order in like super duper fast because they were sold out extremely fast. And the estimated delivery got pushed out months very, very quickly. If you didn't get them within the first like 10 minutes of the site going up, you were going to have to wait several months. Luckily, I was awake, and I was not a full-time YouTuber at the time. I had work that day at the Mandarin Ranch. But when I first woke up, they were like, AirPods are out, and I ordered them, and I got them on like the launch day that they were available. All the way up until now, I've been using AirPods. I hate wired headphones. I even when I've tried them on like AirPods Max, or I tried them on other third-party headphones, like I hate having a wire so much. I cannot emphasize that enough. I hate having a wire going from the headphone to the computer. I've done that on planes too, and I'm always like, ugh, this is so annoying. I gotta watch what I'm doing and get to rearrange the wire, and it's dangling everywhere. Like, I love wireless so much, and I've never once had an issue with the top part of the case being loose to the point of like it's a loose thing if you like wiggle it around. But when are you actually going to do that? You like, this functionally isn't doing anything. All you'd really do in your daily life, whether you're taking a flight or going on a trip or you want to listen to some music, you just pop it open and you pull the pods out. Like, does it matter that much that these go back and forth? Like, no. I didn't order the Apple Cloth. I'm sorry. I gotta wait forever if I order one now. I think they're booked out like 3 months or something. But I apologize. Greatest mistake of my entire career. I definitely should have ordered an Apple Cloth. I've not tried the AirPods Pro memory foam tips because I don't think they'll make that big a difference. How often do I drop my AirPods case? Almost never. I can't think of a time I have. I'm sure there was at some point. I probably like dropped off the side of the couch or dropped off the bed or something, but not like when I'm walking around town or something. Do you think iPhones will ever use USB-C for charging so I don't need a cable? I really wish they would. I cannot emphasize that enough, Chris. I really, really want Type-C on the iPhone, but I don't see it happening. Hopefully the EU kind of forces them to. Like, I know some people are scared about that. They're like, what kind of precedent does it set for a government to tell another company? It's like they just are trying to avoid e-waste. I'm concerned that my AirPods might fall out when I'm on an electric scooter and the road gets bumpy. Yeah, that's a very subjective thing. Like, for me, AirPods 3 fit great, and they're very, very hard to shake out. AirPods Pro feel a tad loose for me, but honestly, they didn't fit as well when I first got them, and now they fit better. It's weird. Like, I'm pretty confident my ear has genetically changed its shape just so that the Pros would fit better. Is my AirPods case really scratched up? Not really. I'm looking at it now. I don't know why people care about that. Like, I can understand wanting your like phone screen to be protected so that it doesn't collect a bunch of scratches, but the case, you're not staring at this. You just put the pods in and you're good. Why do we care about the scratchiness of our cases? But I don't really see any scratches. I mean, there's a lot of oils and smudges that I could probably clean off, but I don't care because I don't stare at my AirPods case. What a bizarre thing for people to care about the durability of. It's like, what does your MacBook feet durability like? Do the feet get dirty? Let's see. I'm concerned that my AirPods might fall out when I'm... Oh, sorry, I just read that. How much have you used your MacBook Pro since the unboxing? I assume a lot because of the 120 hertz. Basically used it all day yesterday. As soon as the unboxing ended, I went right into editing it. And the export was so fast. Oh my God, the M1 Max chip is insane. And I can't wait to do more videos on that. Also, I'm very impressed with the microphones. And I want to do a live stream. I'm not streaming from the MacBook Pro right now. It's back here. I basically had to take it off my desk to make room for the camera and to make room for the AirPods I'm unboxing. It's still here, but I love it. I used it for probably like 4 or 5 hours last night, and I've been using it all morning until I went live. But it is a beast. And I actually think that the microphone sounds so good on this. I want to do a live stream just with the webcam and the internal microphones and see how you guys react, because I think they sound really, really good. And yes, the 120 hertz is amazing. I've got more content to produce today, and this bad boy is going to help me out a lot. And I actually, now seeing it in person, I dig the space gray, I'll be honest. Like, I would have gone for silver if I wasn't in such a rush. I probably would have tried to opt for silver if I could, but now that I've got space gray, I'm like, this looks great. I have not used the HDMI port, but I did use the SD card slot last night. And to answer the question I asked earlier in the stream, it can charge off of the 30-watt power adapter. I have not used the 140-watt adapter because I'm going to try to preserve the battery health on this thing as much as I can. And I was curious because that 140-watt brick is very big, so I wasn't sure if I wanted to take that with me on trips and stuff. So I was like, can I charge this off of the same brick I use with my iPad? The answer is yes. Do AirPods 3 testing outside and on loud areas. Yeah, I've got a lot of testing to do. My MacBook feet have worn down, though. It's like, yeah, who cares? I love the engraving, though, on the back. Like, this looks so cool. I dig that look. I would limit it to 60 FPS to save more battery. Well, it's promotion, so it dynamically changes, but whatever. The battery life on the MacBook was incredible. The fans did not kick on at all during the export. Let's see. There's a great looking leather Nomad case, but yeah, kind of unnecessary. I just checked eBay. You can get an Apple polishing cloth for $50. I'm trying with every ounce of my being not to do it. I just don't use a dedicated polishing cloth to clean my screens. I just wipe them down with, a wipe or something. How does any of the AirPods compare to the sound of the old wired AirPods? AirPods 2 sound about the same. AirPods 3 have better mids and highs, more well-balanced. AirPods Pro sound pretty similar to AirPods 3, just with the passive seal. If you had neither AirPod, which one do you think you'd buy? Right now, it'd be a tough call because I feel like AirPods Pro are about to be refreshed. So I feel like it's not a great time to buy AirPods Pro, but that's the one I want. That one has active noise cancellation, which I do care about. Although I will agree AirPods 3 are more comfortable for me. Like, I don't like having the rubber seal, but it feels like you have to have it in order to have ANC. If the next iPad Pro had all of the ports of this new MacBook Pro, would you suggest I upgrade my 2018? I use it to edit for YouTube. Highly unlikely, but I guess, yeah, if you use it to edit, maybe that would make a difference, but very unlikely. I don't think you could fit an HDMI port on that iPad. I don't think so, but seriously, thank you for all the super chats today. We got new channel members and lots of good questions. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I've got more work to get done today. We're actually doing two live streams today, but the other one will be on EV, so I'll see you guys over there. But more videos to edit as well. It was very, very busy last couple of days, but exciting nonetheless because I've got more powerful tools to help get all the work done. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for enjoying my AirPods 3 unboxing and impressions experience with me. And I hope you all have an excellent rest of your day. Take care all. Bye-bye.